thing. To love what death can touch.
Pim has some important paperwork.
Please give me the strength to kill them.
All right, friends, that's it for today's video. Honestly, recommending horror films isn't easy. No matter how much effort we put into creating a great list, there will always be people who say this or that film wasn't good. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. In the comments section, let me know what you think about the films I mentioned. If you liked a film, suggest it to others, and if you think a film isn't worth watching, make sure to say so. Also, if you know of any other great horror films, guide others in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos. This way, you'll always be up to date with the latest content. Thanks for joining me. I'm looking forward to your comments, and see you in the next video. The first series I want to introduce is The Queen's Gambit. This might be the most famous and popular series among all the ones I will introduce later. In this series, Anya Taylor-Joy plays the lead role, and it is based on a very famous novel. The story follows a fictional character named Beth Harmon, who begins playing chess at the age of 8 and eventually becomes one of the greatest chess players in the world. The events of this series take place in the 1950s, where our protagonist faces family troubles and ends up in an orphanage. It is in the orphanage where she begins learning chess from a strict and stern janitor. This janitor gradually introduces her to the famous chess clubs of the time. During that period, playing chess was not accepted for women, and this creates numerous challenges and obstacles for the main character. In this series, we witness the struggles and challenges of this young girl as she strives to become a champion in the world of chess. The Queen's Gambit and The Samurai's Eyes, which I previously introduced, are among the series whose pacing is the most engaging and perfectly suited. You won't want to skip any scenes, and you won't even want to speed up the playback. The storytelling is completely understandable and flows with a very suitable rhythm. The series holds an impressive 8.5 rating on IMDb and is listed among the top 250 series on the site. It has been widely praised by critics. With a score of 96 on Rotten Tomatoes and 79 on Metacritic, this series has achieved great success. Moreover, The Queen's Gambit has won 110 different awards and has 57 nominations for various honors, including 13 Emmy nominations. Not only did this series bring Anya Taylor-Joy into the spotlight, but it also earned her a Golden Globe Award. Furthermore, The Queen's Gambit is recognized as the most watched miniseries in Netflix history and is the most popular series in 63 countries worldwide. If you haven't watched this series yet, I highly recommend putting aside the other series and watching this one. Starting with The Queen's Gambit will be a unique and thrilling experience for you. The second series I want to introduce to you is by the famous director Mike Flanagan, and it's called The Haunting of Hill House, released in 2018. This series not only brought Flanagan's name to the forefront, but also became one of the most successful horror productions of its time. It attracted a large audience and turned into one of the most watched series of the year. If you're a fan of the horror genre, you've probably watched or at least heard of this show. Moreover, it has received very high ratings from both critics and viewers. This series is very intense and scary, and it tells the story of a family. The father's job involves purchasing old abandoned houses on the outskirts of town. They restore these houses and then sell them at a good price after a year. However, the real story begins when the family buys a house named Hill House. At first, everything seems normal until one of the children starts talking about a bent neck lady who visits them at night. The father dismisses the child's words, thinking it's just an imaginary friend or that the child is making excuses. But the child insists that the bent neck lady is real. Eventually, one night, the father comes face to face with this terrifying entity and realizes that what the child had been saying was true. After these frightening events, the family flees and leaves the house behind. The house remains abandoned for years, and no one dares to enter it again. Now, decades later, the grown-up children of the family still struggle with the traumatic and terrifying memories of their past. However, the house once again unexpectedly gathers all the family members together. The pacing of this series is incredibly engaging, keeping the viewer hooked throughout. There's almost no scene that you'd want to skip. For this reason, watching the series becomes an experience full of excitement and suspense. This work has also been a success in terms of ratings, earning a score of 8.6 on IMDb and an outstanding score on Rotten Tomatoes. The third series I want to introduce to you is one of the newest creations that has quickly gained worldwide popularity and captured a lot of attention. This series is an anime called Samurai Eyes, which you've probably heard of recently. Unlike what you might expect, this anime isn't a Japanese production. It's made by Netflix. I must mention that this series is entirely designed for adults and is absolutely not suitable for watching with family or kids. The story takes us back to the childhood of the main character, a boy with striking blue eyes living in the heart of Japan. The narrative is set roughly 400 years ago, during a time when Japan was completely isolated from the outside world. People with non-Japanese appearances were labeled as demons and were not allowed to integrate into society. The protagonist of the story has a Japanese mother and an English father. His father, a merchant, abandoned him, and his mother is no longer with him. Now an orphan, the boy is treated like a demon because of his blue eyes and distinct appearance. As time passes, the boy grows up and becomes a highly skilled samurai. He embarks on a journey to find his father, the man who brought him into this world but abandoned him. His goal is to take revenge and kill his father. Along this journey, he faces new challenges and unexpected events at every step. Believe it or not, this anime surpasses many of the other series on this list in terms of storytelling and fast-paced narrative. When watching shows, we often tend to skip through unnecessary scenes, but this anime is different. You'll want to sit back and enjoy the story in its entirety because it's perfectly paced and has no unnecessary moments. The narrative flows seamlessly, keeping you engaged throughout. This anime has also been highly praised in terms of ratings, earning an impressive score of 8.9 on IMDb. This highlights the exceptional quality of its storytelling and its strong appeal to viewers. If you're looking for a unique and thrilling experience, this anime is undoubtedly a fantastic choice. The fourth series I want to introduce is one of the creations of the renowned director Mike Flanagan. Known for crafting successful and chilling shows, Flanagan has made a name for himself in the horror genre. Most of his work is produced in collaboration with Netflix, and nearly all of his creations carry a unique style and a distinctly eerie tone. This series, much like his previous works, has also been released on Netflix. The series in question is The Fall of the House of Usher, which premiered this year and has been previously mentioned on this channel. This miniseries is a blend of horror, drama, and psychological thriller genres, based on a work by the legendary author Edgar Allan Poe. If you're a fan of Poe's writing, his name likely rings a bell. This series consists of 10 episodes and, as the title suggests, revolves around a family called Usher, a family steeped in scandals and controversies, frequently making headlines for their tumultuous affairs. The story begins at a funeral where Roderick Usher, the patriarch of the family, mourns all of his children who have died within the span of a year. He and his sister are at the helm of this powerful family. The Ushers own a massive pharmaceutical company that has brought them immense wealth. However, this company is constantly under scrutiny due to health and safety concerns regarding its products. Many of their products, linked to serious side effects and fatalities, have faced repeated legal challenges. Despite this, the family has managed to evade punishment through large-scale bribery. Now that Roderick Usher's children have all passed away, he discovers who is behind their deaths and decides to meet with a prosecutor who has been pursuing the family's cases for years. These two have been locked in a game of cat and mouse for nearly 30 years. Roderick invites the prosecutor to his childhood home and says, "I want to confess everything." He admits to being responsible for his children's deaths and begins recounting the events that shaped his life. The series unfolds through flashbacks, gradually revealing the harrowing truths about Roderick Usher's life. This series has been one of the most acclaimed shows of the year, ranking among the top 10 most watched series of 2023. It boasts a 99% score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 73 on Metacritic. While the series loses some momentum in the middle, particularly in the second episode, and the third episode feels somewhat unnecessary, if you stick with it, the story picks up again from the fourth episode onwards and keeps you hooked until the end. One important note, this series, like some others in the same genre, isn't suitable for family viewing or younger audiences, so keep that in mind. The next series I want to introduce, and the fifth one on this list, is Sharp Objects. This series is considered one of the best works of 2018 and is based on a famous novel. The series consists of only 8 episodes and was produced by HBO. It is the final work of its director as he passed away after completing it. You might have seen the movie Dallas Buyers Club, the one for which Matthew McConaughey won an Oscar. In Sharp Objects, Amy Adams plays the lead role, and her performance is truly outstanding. She portrays a character who suffers from self-harm, cutting her entire body with sharp objects and writing on her skin. These actions stem from deep family issues she has faced. Now, this character returns to her hometown after years, the place where all her misfortunes began. The reason for her return is that the protagonist is a journalist, and during her childhood, a series of murders occurred in this town. 2 young girls, both 13 years old, were murdered, and she has been sent there to investigate and report on the case. However, as she enters the town, strange events begin to unfold. Gradually, through flashbacks throughout the story, we gain new insights into her past and uncover different clues about the killer until, in the end, the real identity of the killer is revealed. The interesting part of this series is that the ending is completely unpredictable and shocking. You can never guess how the story will conclude. The series has received a rating of 92 on Rotten Tomatoes and 78 on Metacritic. Until last year, it was included in IMDb's list of the 250 best TV shows, but now it has dropped out, and its IMDb score is 8. The series has won many awards. The only issue that might be bothersome for some viewers is its slow and sometimes monotonous pace. If you are the type of person who likes to skip certain scenes to see what happens next, you should know that because the story is told through many flashbacks, skipping scenes may cause you to miss some important details. Overall, this is one of those series that requires some patience and focus to get through to the end. The sixth series I want to introduce on this list is a Western drama titled 1883. This series is actually a prequel to the famous show Yellowstone, which was created by the same director who made Yellowstone. This director had previously created another successful series, Mayor of Kingstown, which was very popular in its time. In 1883, the story is about the previous generation of the heroes from Yellowstone. The title of the series comes from the birth year of the main character, the daughter of the Dutton family. The story revolves around the Dutton family's journey from Texas to Montana, where they intend to build a farm of their own and turn their dreams into reality. This long journey essentially represents their struggle to fulfill their aspirations. However, at that time, America was a country full of lawlessness, where anyone could easily kill each other and violate others' rights without any consequences. The mini-series depicts the hardships and struggles the family members face during their journey, which ultimately leads to the death of many of them. Interestingly, even though the characters in this series are fictional, the story is historically accurate and provides a very precise representation of America during that period. The miniseries has received an 8.7 rating on IMDb and a score of 69 on Metacritic. It consists of only 10 episodes and has been nominated for 23 awards, winning 5 of them, especially in the acting category, where many of its actors received various awards. 1883 was released in 2021 by Paramount and became one of the most watched streaming series of the last decade. The series has also garnered significant attention at various festivals and was nominated at prestigious events like the Golden Globe Awards and Critics' Choice Awards. At the Critics' Choice Awards, it won the award for Best Actor in a Drama Series for Sam Elliott and was nominated for Best Drama Series at the Golden Globe Awards. Furthermore, the series was nominated in several categories at the Primetime Emmy Awards and received particular praise for its direction and production design. As you may have guessed, the genre of this series is drama, so don't expect unexpected plot twists or action-packed, thrilling scenes. The storytelling is structured in such a way that the character development is done very well. You easily connect with the characters, and because of the events that unfold in their lives, the story becomes intriguing. You won't want to skip scenes, but rather will want to continue watching to see what happens next. The next miniseries on this list, which is the 7th and final one I want to introduce, is Godless. If you enjoyed this series, I highly recommend watching Yellowstone as well, since both Godless and Yellowstone are made in similar styles. Godless is a Western series created by Scott Frank, the writer known for his work on successful films like Logan and Minority Report. This Western series, produced by Netflix, has a total of just 7 episodes. The story of Godless centers around a notorious criminal known for his numerous law-breaking actions. The main character of the series, a lawbreaker himself, is on a quest to find someone who has betrayed his group. He intends to take revenge on this person. The antagonist in the story is like a foster son to him, someone he has known since childhood. Now this betrayer, while fleeing from justice, takes refuge in a remote town. In this town, all the men have been killed in a mining accident, and the town is now managed by women. No one dares to enter this town. In these circumstances, the hero of the story begins a life with a tough, widowed woman. However, news reaches them that the antagonist has found his way to the town and is seeking revenge. This series puts a lot of effort into introducing a powerful and complex antagonist. The villain in this story is unpredictable. For example, throughout the series, he frequently quotes from the Bible, yet he shows no fear of danger or risk. In one scene, he gets severely wounded, and the doctors tell him that his hand should be amputated. However, he fearlessly tells the doctor not to worry, saying that he has seen his death in his dreams and knows that he won't die like that. After saying this, he laughs it off, and his chilling demeanor adds to the fearsome nature of his character. Godless has been well received by audiences, earning an 8.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb. However, critics have not been as fond of the series and have largely ignored it, not taking it very seriously. Alright friends, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it and found it helpful. I hope the series I recommended were to your taste, and that my choices in suggesting these miniseries helped you in your selection. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share your thoughts with me in the comments. If you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, and goodbye.